and mama.
What the Post-it note being sent to me?
I raised her. The Bible says, Lord, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be holy and acceptable sight. I'd like to share with, thank everybody from coming out and showing your support and love. My daughter, Jacqueline Marie Smith. Before I say this, I don't know nothing about the Bible, but in Romans chapter 13, this is for the peace officers. I'm a peace officer myself. It says that every soul shall be subject to the higher power. That's what the Bible says. I would suggest that every police officer in the world put Romans chapter 13 on there. It says that we are not a terror to good works, but to evil. To leave that right there. I like to say, did you know that humans have 3 brains? You have a brain in your head, you have a brain in your heart, and you have a brain in your stomach. I know it sounds strange, but it's true. Look at that. See if it's true. Look it up. I don't know nothing about it. But there are a lot of things that have been going on in the world. And I think it's about this race stuff. And I like to tell the world this day, the master teacher, his name is Minister X, peace be upon him. He says that Adam and Eve were not black people. Adam and Eve were not white people. Let's look, if you will, go with me back in your mind to Genesis chapter 1 at verse 26. I don't know nothing about the Bible, but it reads, Yah says, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And he used the dirt, and the dirt is brown, to make Adam. Now, I don't know if you guys know anything about science, but on your DNA strand, all that is a series of information, and it can't produce anything other than what's on that information. That's science. If Adam and Eve were 2 black people, everybody on the planet would be black. If Adam and Eve were 2 white people, everybody on the planet would be white. Where did these white people come from? Where did these black people come from? Go with me. Yes, Yah used the dirt. The dirt is brown. Adam had hair, wool, brown eyes, and brown skin. What did he use to make Eve? That's Genesis chapter 2, verse 21. He took her rib, or Adam's rib. Okay. Eve, her ribs are pinkish. Eve was a white woman. Eve was a white woman. If you're looking at the material, unless God is a racist, he wouldn't have changed the material. And he took it from Adam's rib. Ribs are curved. So, here we go. There's a dream in the land with his back against the wall. By many is strange in names. It is sometimes called. There are those who claim this dream never to be molded. Now that's a sin, as we all stand tall. To claim the dream for one is to claim the dream for all. It's the master teacher. Thank you.
Hello. Welcome back to another conversation with Coco. I am your host, Coco. And that, what you just witnessed, was a father grieving. And I would like to take this opportunity to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. On this day, I try not to be so petty to cope with my pain. So we're not going to do that today. I'll leave it at that. Not my lotion making a guest appearance. Lord Jesus. Today we have a lot to talk about, right? And with all the topics we are going to go over, I have just come to the conclusion that in many facets, and I mean, I've been here for a while, the Black community is currently on fire, right? A lot of things are happening. We're just going to go through bit by bit. So that clip was actually from Jackie O's funeral. Last week we talked about body image and we went over some of the things that we know about Jackie when it comes to people's comments on her body or how her boyfriend / baby daddy felt about her body. And so we discussed that last week, but then I saw this clip and it concerned me because none of the men that were supposed to be important in her life discussed her in a way that really demonstrated they saw her for who she was. People had a lot to say about how DC Young Fly spoke about her and the lack of personalization and the lack of, I would say, the feeling of love with his words. People had some things to say about that. But this, to me, her father utilizing her funeral to say this, I'm not sure she's the only child, if she has other siblings, other sisters. But your baby has gone on to glory and you wanted to utilize the time to speak about her, to talk about Adam being black and Eve being pink and having pink ribs. I just don't understand. I mean, I get it intellectually, right? I can go down the gamut of understanding patriarchy and what that does to the conditioning of people that present as male in our community, misogyny and all that kind of stuff. But like on a personal level, do you really not have a connection with your own child to the point where this is what you choose to speak about at her funeral? The cameras are rolling and this is what you choose to say. It's very much concerning. And I feel bad for her and I feel bad for her children, especially her daughters. If I were her child, I would not want this to be how my mother is remembered. We're going to get off that topic and we're going to get into, I wanted to do this Jessica White situation with Nick Cannon, but I don't even know if I want to read all of this, to be honest. Cause all I'm gonna do is drag her. Y'all, I'm gonna just treat her like I treated Janaea. Like, take this time that this man has given you and utilize your time to work on yourself enough to leave this man alone. You haven't been with this man for over 2 years. He seems to not care about you and your miscarriage. I'm confused. Do you want to be part of the rotation of baby mamas that he has to go around on holidays? I'm confused as to what she was trying to accomplish through penning this open letter, apologizing to Nick Cannon for going on Love and Hip Hop. I'm confused. Y'all gonna have to help me out because I don't get it. Do we need inpatient therapy? I think we may need some inpatient therapy. But speaking of, I actually did want to just gloss over this. I'm gonna take it out the caption because we're not gonna go over her. I'm not sitting here reading her paragraphs upon paragraphs of this open letter to this man who don't give two fucks about her. So y'all know me. I'd be on the TikTok, right? Coco V lawyer, period, on TikTok. So y'all know if y'all been on the TikToks that there's this whole poly couple situation. We had just gotten over the blue-eyed bandit poly situation cult thing. I thought we had been in the clear, but just as the dust settled from that whole queer debacle, in waltz this man and his two women's. I don't know if you were joining me last night on TikTok. You know, when I was preparing my resources for this conversation because I wanted to go over Shanice's open letter. And that's probably why I don't feel like going over Jessica's open letter. We need to pick one open letter to one person and stick with it. I was doing some research because I have no idea like their background, how they got together, how we got here, there, and everywhere. So in that, I did find this clip in a Paris Milan video that I wanted to share just to give us like a brief, like 1, 2, this is the background. This is their mentality that they're going through. They're going to get into Shanice's open letter. And again, I have to keep reiterating my purpose on the internet is Black women empowerment through waking y'all hoes up, educating you, kikiing, holding space, having tough conversations. And through the whole Danae Jackson thing, I really realized a lot of y'all how can I put this nicely? When it comes to men, a lot of y'all are just naive and gullible. And I hate that for y'all. And so as like, I don't know how old y'all are, but as like your cousin from down the way, you know, maybe your older cousin or your younger cousin, depending on how old you is. But as your cousin from around the way, it is my obligation to wake y'all hoes up and shake y'all until your noggin starts to fire the fuck back up. And y'all use the neurons firing in your brain to stand the fuck up. Yeah. Sometimes I got to cuss at y'all because some of y'all don't listen to me when I come at y'all with compassion and empathy. But I digress. I still need to figure out, do I stop screen sharing to re-screen share? I'm still getting used to StreamYard, so y'all have to bear with me. What did Jessica White do? We'll come back to it. If I feel like it, we'll come back to it. I'll drop the link in the chat, so if you want to read it on your own, you can. But she basically penned an open letter to Nick Cannon because she went on Love and Hip Hop. And I guess she's opening up about the miscarriage and how that whole debacle went when she was like in the rotation of pregnant women's. And she claimed to be an 8-year ride or die. And I guess now she's coming out to protect his feelings because she's going to go tell her truth on MTV. Do we need to do a retreat? Do we need to do a girl stand the fuck up retreat? Because it's like every week. Hell, if you on TikTok on Messy Talk, it's every fucking 5 hours. Y'all just out here displaying y'all's lust to be entrenched in these men that don't give a fuck about you. I don't understand it. So we're going to watch a little bit of this. And yeah.
Brief overview. And on the left, the beautiful Shanice, she's 29. The Dusty in the middle is Sean. And the woman on the right is Olivia. Olivia is the youngest in this poly V relationship. She was 18 when she started talking to Sean, 19 when she got involved in this, and she is now 20. But she joined in this relationship when Shanice had already been dating Sean first. So this is Shanice's video. He said how I transitioned from monogamy to polygyny. She's in the U.S. Navy. She said, all while on deployment, this man I fell head over heels for. Protective, loving, true to his word. I do anything for him. His masculinity allows me to be my true self. Divine femininity. I give you that. You a baddie, Shanice, and you know it. His leadership and purpose gives me an uncontrollable urge to follow. Ooh, that's scary. Adding women to our dynamic has always been a part of our plan. Just never thought anyone would be permanent. While on a humanitarian mission, of course, communication wasn't the best. So she's helping other people in different countries. Coming back home gave me more anxiety. Shanice. Things would be different, but I trust him. I was showered with love and affection, of course. Love bombing. And patience. Deployment definitely changes you. And of course, he knows that. But baby, I'm good. We're good. So in this next video, this is going to be the first woman that called.
All right. So that was a teeny bit of background. And I say teeny bit because honestly, it's a teeny bit. I have not been fully abreast of all the happenings. I watched some clips of some lives. But I think her open letter was very telling. So I wanted to go over that. Hold on. She does speak, for me at least, a little slow and she's a beautiful speaker. She's a beautiful woman. Let me put her up here because, like, sis, please get away from this man and stay gone. So I'm going to say this, right? I'm a believer in ethical non-monogamy. I am a believer that not everyone is monogamous. I think we have a lot of compulsive monogamy in our community through, religious indoctrination. However, I am not for, especially women, but anyone choosing to be non-monogamous in order to keep someone, in order to appease someone, in order to not upset someone. Those reasons should never be in the equation if you are thinking about being non-monogamous. It needs to be a choice with voluntary consent from all parties involved if you are going to participate in any form of non-monogamous relationship. And the reason I'm talking about this is because her open letter told me a lot about why she was in this relationship and the things that she was doing in order to maintain this relationship with this man. I'm going to leave it at that, because if I start going off on the tangent about this man and his behavior, we're going to be here for a while. So let me stay on topic, right? Get y'all back to y'all fathers. So let me go ahead. Let us listen to this open letter that she wrote to this man after leaving this situation. And we love that for her. We love that for her.
What everyone has been waiting for, the letter. Where should we start? Okay. A letter to my love. Things that I wish I said but never did. From our first date in the sky to From our first date in the sky to us moonwalking till midnight on our second date, I felt like I had found the love of my life, the man of my dreams. And I went to work the next day, swoon, telling everybody I had met my future husband. In my eyes, you were ambitious, strong, empowering, and selfless. You were a king, and you deserved a lot more than you were receiving. I witnessed you pour more into others than you ever did yourself. And no matter how many people turned their back on you, it never altered your selfless character. I wanted to be the one to pour into you. With everything and everyone crashing and burning around you, I wanted to be the person that was always there for you, like you showed up for other people. The greatest thing you ever taught me was to never focus on my problems, always solutions. So what would be the greatest amount of good for the greatest amount of people? And for me, my problem was that I was in a relationship with someone that made me feel like I was lonely. And my solution was to leave. You didn't ask for much, communication, respect, and loyalty. My loyalty was given. Even though it was always questioned, it was always given. My respect, I quickly learned, was earned. And in regards to communication, that was built on trust. And I got to a point where I was so vulnerable with you that
Okay, so my camera is completely gone. Let me go back a couple minutes. Let me just start it over again. And I'll figure out my camera situation.
initiative for me to show up for me at some point. Now, what everyone has been waiting for, the letter. Where should we start? Okay. A letter to my love. Things that I wish I said but never did. From our first date in the sky to from our first date in the sky to us moonwalking till midnight on our second date, I felt like I had found the love of my life, the man of my dreams. And I went to work the next day, swoon, telling everybody I had met my future husband. In my eyes, you were ambitious, strong, empowering, and selfless. You were a king, and you deserved a lot more than you were receiving. I witnessed you pour more into others than you ever did yourself. And no matter how many people turned their back on you, it never altered your selfless character. I wanted to be the one to pour into you. With everything and everyone crashing and burning around you, I wanted to be the person that was always there for you, like you showed up for other people. The greatest thing you ever taught me was to never focus on my problems, always solutions. So what would be the greatest amount of good for the greatest amount of people? And for me, my problem was that I was in a relationship with someone that made me feel like I was lonely. And my solution was to leave. You didn't ask for much: communication, respect, and loyalty. My loyalty was given. Even though it was always questioned, it was always given. My respect, I quickly learned, was earned. And in regards to communication, that was built on trust. And I got to a point where I was so vulnerable with you that when we started having trials and tribulations, my walls just started to build back up. Wider, thicker, stronger, taller. They were basically made of vibranium. You wanted me to communicate, but continue to create a space where I couldn't communicate. Because you don't want to hear it. When I don't feel comfortable speaking to you, it's because I'm afraid. There used to be a time where we'd never let anger or a disagreement last more than a day. We never normalized withdrawing love and affection until you were able to give your affection elsewhere. And though I was unbothered, I still usually hold my tongue because I was afraid of any type of retaliation. I was failing to be understood, forced to adopt whatever you believed, and always the problem. It was always, do you want to be right or do you want to be together? And I wanted to be together. So I trusted in you that you wouldn't steer me wrong. Being used to getting disappointed, unheard, and retaliation became my new normal. And each time it hurt a lot less. I had to ask myself if I was being strong or if I was going numb. And that is what dissociation feels like. When you use pain as punishment and I feel nothing. When you use sex as retribution and make sure that you have an audience. When you hit me and say that you better be glad that it's not worse after what you did. When you pour rice on the floor and tell me to kneel in it as you carry on to cackle with your queen. As I'm bawling my eyes out on the floor. Not to mention making me pick up every single grain. I felt nothing. Every time I was wrong and every time I heard, so what are you going to do to make it up for me? You don't ever want to place anyone in a box, but you'll stick me in a penthouse. No matter how many times you ask, how can I be a better man for you? Not once did I ever see a change until I was finally done. When people don't feel heard, they stop talking. And after so long, I didn't have anything to say. But again, I was wrong because I wanted to be together and I entrusted in you to not steer me wrong. I always felt as though you desired the fantasy and not the responsibility of a family and a legacy. There's a big difference between wanting a big fat wedding and wanting to be an amazing partner. There's a big difference between wanting to be a Instamom and wanting to be a mother. So I always questioned why you never understood the difference when I asked, do you want a family because you lacked one growing up, or do you want a family because you desire to be an amazing husband and father? I think it's insane that you chastise me for my past experiences and partners, but you're unable to understand or realize that your past is hindering you from loving others. My experiences led me to the way that I love you. I guess I loved you so well that you wanted me to teach your queens how to treat you. And what sense does that make when you're the one choosing the queens for yourself? You learn through your experiences, and some of my experiences you guilt me for. And somehow you want someone inexperienced so they're unable to compare you. You say that I put on a front so that people won't judge me, but you're unable to be honest about why your preferences are the way they are. This isn't to bash you. I thought that I could help you. I thought that I could save you from yourself somehow because I thought that you deserved everything that you dreamed of. I know that you work hard and you spend a lot of time to provide and to sacrifice for your dream, but you flaunt all of those sacrifices as if I haven't made any. When you were struggling, I gave you all of my savings, $7,800. When you were struggling again, even though I hadn't been promoted and I was getting paid dirt cheap, I was still giving you half of my check, as well as providing for your household. $4,000. The joint bank account that you just kicked me out of, thank you, $3,000. I'm sorry. And that's not including 7 days of Christmas twice. That's not including random gifts and birthday extravaganzas. And you make it seem as though you're the only one making sacrifices. You're making it seem as though you're the only one that cares. Whenever I needed money, it was because I either spent or lent it to you. I gave you everything that I had, and I kept giving and giving again and again and again and again and again. And I gave you all of me and more because I put you on a pedestal. And all that I received were broken and was going to do this for you. Oh, I should have bought this for you. Oh, we could have gone to this place. Oh, we would have done this for your birthday. Broken promises. Expectations lead to disappointment. It's frustrating to see you choose your queen and have such high expectations for them and them not meet your standards. You continuously come to me complaining about how this may not be a good fit for your selection and how you may get rid of a queen because you feel like you're babysitting. But somehow I'm chastised when you feel as though I'm not treating a queen like an adult. But again, we learn through our experiences, and I was expecting for someone to be knowledgeable in something and experienced. I'm at fault for my expectations, and I'm even at fault for expressing my sexual boundaries because of your egotistical fantasies. Somehow I'm wrong. Somehow I'm being selfish. And after explaining my sexual boundaries, after reiterating my sexual boundaries, after telling you that I will not engage with anyone, you continue to push regardless of the boundaries that are set. We are never asked what we want. We are never asked what we want to do. We are always told what is happening. And that is it. And if what you wanted wasn't obeyed, then we weren't being submissive. You always used to give me this quote and say, you allow what you agree with. The fact that you're able to look me in my face, tell me that you know that you treat me like trash, tell me that you know that you treat me as a punching bag when you are having a rough time in your business, why would I stay? Why would I allow that? After weeks of you asking me to change my mind and trying to prove to me that you changed, your last words didn't really surprise me. You're weak. You're weak for leaving your family. You're weak for not giving up without a fight. You're a coward. Honestly, I'm weak for not leaving sooner. A friend of mine asked me what I loved about you, what I think you needed in this moment, and what I think you need to remove. In this moment, I think you need peace. Whatever that may look like or feel like for you along that journey, I really hope that you're able to acknowledge and let go of your insecurities and your traumas. Healing is hard, but continuously and desperately trying to hold yourself together is also hard. How did we get here? I truly felt as though your intentions were pure, and I was shown otherwise. I was showing up for everyone else, and not only was no one showing up for me, I wasn't showing up for myself. So instead of my people-pleasing tendencies serving you, I'm choosing me. I am deserving of success and happiness.
I'm muted. So we love that for sis. I love that she was able to get out of that situation. I love that. And I guess the only way I can engage in this conversation, because we all listened to what she just said, my main question would be, what are you willing to sacrifice to say that you're in a relationship? What parts of yourself are you willing to deny and override and gaslight in order to be in a relationship with a man, just to say that you are in a relationship with a man? What piece of yourself are you okay with dying or killing off in order to say that you are with this man? Is the outside perception of a relationship more important to you than the quality of person you are with and the quality of relationship that you have? If you are okay with denying yourself what you deserve, why are you okay with denying yourself the treatment that you deserve from a loving, caring, thoughtful person that you deserve? Why are you sacrificing that in order to just take anything that you can get? I want us in our adult ages, 21 and up. I'll talk to 21 and up, but especially 25 and up, because this woman is 28, 29, and I guess they had gotten into a relationship maybe 3 years ago. I heard it in the Danae Jackson situation. I heard it in this situation. You falling in love with somebody within 2 days should give you pause. As someone who you hauled with their wife, I know it didn't take 2 days for me to love her. Was it quick? Yes, I'm decisive. 2 days? That is ridiculous. You may really like this person. You may really connect with this person. You may have things that you want to explore about this person, but you loving a person, especially a man, because what being a man mostly is conditioning based off body parts. Men are conditioned a certain way. You falling in love with a man who is sending his representative as you are, you should have some pause. It is okay to be excited about a new person, excited about learning about that person, exploring compatibility and all that. That is amazing. That is great. But you cannot, just because you feel bubbly emotions and butterflies, negate that you are a grown-ass woman with a life. Feelings of love are great. Let your brain have a say-so. And let's make sure your brain is in the right frame of reference. So one of the things that you need to be on the lookout for is if you are communicating with how someone responds to you communicating. That is very much important, right? Especially if you want to be in a long-term relationship. I'm shaking. I'm so sorry. My God. Especially if you want to be in a long-term relationship with somebody. If you get to a point where you are scared to speak up, or you're scared that if you say or do something in a certain way that they're going to retaliate against you, that's not a safe space. Get out as safely as possible, right? She did discuss that there was some physical, verbal, and psychological abuse. Crossing sexual boundaries. If you are a person that's going to be participating in non-monogamy, you are allowed to have boundaries. They are allowed to have boundaries. Communication is key. Consent is key. If all parties are not consenting voluntarily, that's not a consenting situation. She also discussed how she wanted to care for this man, be his savior, show up for him how he shows up for other people, which is odd because you have to consider how someone is treating you. I heard it in the Danae situation, in this situation, in many situations. We have got to, as women, get out of this mindset that we dictate how someone else, especially a grown-ass man, shows up in this world. I know the patriarchy and misogyny has done a number on us, and the men constantly blaming women for their decisions has got some of us in a real bad headspace. But if what he does not control you, but for him actually doing physical things to control you, but if what you do in your plight to be the woman of his dreams, if you change your hair, change your clothes, change your sexual positions and stuff like that, if that's not going to make him act right, I need you to see that nothing you can do, be, say, etc. is going to make him act right. He is making a decision. You can't put on your cape and just think that you're going to be Captain Save-A-Nig and he's going to be someone he is not because of you. That's not how that works. He's making decisions. Financially, look, if you want to spend money on men, that's your prerogative. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your finances. However, you should use your brain and be cautious. And if you are going to help other people out, you need to make sure your needs and your wants are covered before you help outside yourself, especially if this man is not your husband legally and emotionally. This whole submission thing, you look, again, you make your own decisions, but you need to ask yourself, at what cost is submission? What part of yourself are you denying? Are you gaslighting? Are you denying that? What part of you are you overriding in order to go along with submission? What comes along with submission? Are you okay with a man putting his hands on you? Are you okay with a man stepping out on you, whether you're poly or not? Like we had the conversation last week, you can choose to do whatever you want to do, but you need to question why you are doing the things that you are doing and consider the outcomes that you're trying to garner. Especially as grown-ass women, we see that these men are not going to take accountability for themselves. So we need to do better about when they show us who they are, knowing how to have the confidence, the knowledge, and the wherewithal to move the fuck around. I'm not with this whole choose better thing, because unless we all have crystal balls and we can see into the fucking future like fucking That's So Raven, it is unrealistic to say that the person I'm choosing to be with today, I can predict their behavior 5 minutes from now. You can't do that. That's unrealistic. What is realistic is when certain behaviors and red flags show themselves, you be in a position to move the fuck around and you not be so desperate to say you have a man that you choose yourself, your safety, and your sanity over somebody's nappy-headed ass son or straight-haired ass son. You have to put yourself first. As a married woman, yes, it's amazing to be married. It's more amazing to have a healthy marriage. It's a lot of work to have a healthy marriage. That takes 2 parties doing the work. You cannot do it for the both of you. A lot of y'all think y'all can overcompensate. Oh, well, I'll cook more, clean more, pay more of the bills, do more black flips, suck more dick. No. If you have a vision of a healthy relationship that you want, the other person has to be a willing participant that's going to help you get there. If they are not a willing participant in helping you get there, they're not the person for you. No, you sucking more dick is not going to make him morph into that person. You making him more food is not going to make him morph into that person. You buying him Jordans is not going to make him morph into that person. You filling out his job applications is not going to make him morph into that person. You setting up doctor's appointments for him is not going to make him morph into that person. You having threesomes, even though you don't want to, you're not bisexual, is not going to make him morph into that person. Do I need to go on? These men are making choices. If they are being an asshole to you, they are making the choice to do so. If they are cheating on you, they are making the choice to do so. If they are being abusive towards you, they are making the choice to do so. If they are being predatory towards you, they are making the choice to do so. Their choices have nothing to do with you. Your choices should have nothing to do with them. I'm going to leave it alone at that. Because we need to get into this SukiHana situation and how y'all really need to be bashed over the damn head and drugged down the damn street for the blatant harassment, assault. Let me go see. So I'm going to use an excerpt from Lovely T to show you the video of YK Osiris assaulting Suki, and also the inappropriate behavior by a podcast host from Candy Coated, whatever her podcast name is. And then we can talk about how the Black community is on fire than a motherfucker because this shit don't make any fucking sense. And majority of y'all need to be fucking dragged. On the eve of Juneteenth, our ancestors did not survive slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, the Civil Rights era, the crack epidemic, 9/11, etc., for y'all to be on the internet in the year of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Devontae Christ, 2023, acting like y'all have no idea what the fuck consent is and what predatory behavior is in fucking front of you. We're gonna watch this little short clip, and I'm gonna be back to fucking drag because ain't no fucking way I can't be in my educational bag today. We have to drag somebody at some point. Okay, let's get into this.
Oh my! Oh, she already. Yeah.
All right, so you guys just saw that video. Now, if that's not crazy enough, Twitter users.
A little throw down.
Yeah, I do the singing.
Yeah. Hey, how about it?
Can we calm him down? I can't even turn up because he's been waiting at the door for me.
Hey, how about
You
it?
was not acting like that out there.
I mean, shit, we on now.
That's right. See, I like to sing myself, so we don't have to listen to
Okay,
music.
sing us a little something.
Yeah, sing a song. Let's see what that mouth do. No, I'm saying vocally. Let's see what that mouth do vocally.
What does your mouth do?
Shit, everything you needed to do. I'll make that pussy spit. And I know it do. I watched you walk in this motherfucker.
So you can tell by my walk?
I can tell by your walk that pussy spit.
Hey, you a country nigga. Where you from?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Campbellton Road to be exact. What's happening with it?
See.
I cannot. This is how he is every time we get on there.
Southwest Atlanta.
Hey,
He
Green
been
Brown.
over here saying he wanted to
Oh,
smell
man.
it ever since
Oh
you
yeah, I
got
want to
here.
smell your pussy. I want to put my face in your pussy. You say Suki with the good coochie, you know what I'm saying? You talking about how good that motherfucker smell and all that?
So you want to put your
Yeah, I need a motherfucking scratch and sniff about that motherfucker.
scratch and sniff? Oh my gosh, out the Cracker Barrel box. The scratch and
I'm
sniff.
trying to get
I do have a scratch and sniff.
You do.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean? We can go to the back and I can come back and
You
give
want to
her.
smell my ass?
I might put my tongue down that motherfucker.
Oh my gosh, A1.
But we're gonna start with the sniffing of it.
You are aggressive.
She love that shit, man. Look at her. She
I-
like that old shit.
No, I don't.
You love that shit.
No, I mean after like during sex maybe, but you know that not right now.
Nah, all that shit you talk. Fuck that. You done met your match. I'm here. What's up?
So listen, hold on.
This man.
Okay.
You want to show Suki my dick pic? Let her judge.
Yeah.
She said she'll judge. Okay, can you show that to her?
Just 1 minute, like.
All right,
You said you
let's
were at what?
let
No,
her
no,
show.
putting my dick on the camera.
I know that's right.
So country ass.
Well, I feel like honestly, 5 inches is a huge dick to me.
5
That's-
inches.
Yeah, that's big to me.
No, okay.
That's super big. I love that size.
I know my
that's
mom used to say she'd rather be tickled than be stabbed. Seriously, because you know some people got all their dick and they just be damn stabbing the hell out your ass, and it's not
It's
really, always
Tell Ken.
pleasant.
No,
It's thick.
no, but
It's thick.
he's supposed to be.
I don't want to see it.
All right, so you guys just saw those.
So if you were confused about what we just watched, we watched the clip. The first clip is SukiHana being sexually assaulted. And the second clip that we saw was her being sexually harassed. So here's the thing that I don't understand. I don't understand how the majority of our community doesn't understand fucking consent. Aren't we constantly talking about slavery and how we had no agency and bodily autonomy? We couldn't do what we wanted. So I'm just confused how in 2021 are we failing to understand that women have agency and autonomy over their bodies? It's not making sense to me how we cannot understand that even though someone may be sexually liberated, have a sexual past, a sexual job, or just love sex in general, I'm failing to understand why we can't understand that even though those things may be present, that does not mean that consent goes out the fucking window. I'm confused how men in 2023 still think that they are entitled to women's bodies to the point that if a woman presents as sexual, he automatically has access to her body and she doesn't get a choice whether or not she wants to share her body with him. I'm further confused as to how Black women are going around making excuses for sexual assault, sexual harassment, and deviant sexual behavior that is not consented to. Based on the comment sections of various videos, TikToks, IG posts, Twitter tweets, a lot of Black women have been sexually assaulted, and either someone else or themselves has gaslighted them to believe that they were not assaulted. Y'all saying, oh, that's how Candy, first of all, saying, oh, this is just how he is. This is a place of business. I don't care that the podcast is a sexual conversation podcast. Have some fucking decorum and professionalism. So you mean to tell me you know about and are okay with and continuing to employ someone who sexually harasses women on camera in front of multiple people, and you're gonna key and ha 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 about it? That's weird behavior. It's weird behavior to think that you can speak to any woman the way he did, regardless of how she presents out in the fucking world. You are not entitled to her body. She does not have to give you sex or give you her body. And you need to be a fucking professional adult and have some fucking decorum. And then for her to be assaulted at some big event on multiple cameras, sitting in between grown-ass men, getting sexually assaulted by a grown-ass man who is... That man did not see anything wrong with what the fuck he did. Let me go find his face. Does this look like someone that understands that what the fuck they just did was fucking sexual assault? Or that he cared? Or that anybody that's sitting around seeing this happen cared? Let's watch this without sound. And I want you to watch everybody's body language as this woman is being sexually assaulted out in the open. I think I went back too far. First of all, why are you being the creepy teacher? What you see? Watch her body language. Everyone around looking, seeing, doing nothing. She's saying, no, get off me verbally and physically. He shoves his fucking mouth on hers, and he looks like he has just done his big one. He looks like he just did the most troubling feat of this month. Proud. And y'all saw this happen and went on the internet talking about, yeah, he was wrong, but, yeah, he was wrong, but, yeah, he was wrong, but I don't give a fuck about your butts, bitch. This is why our daughters are in danger and being trafficked right the fuck now. And y'all don't give a fuck. Because y'all see sexual assault, especially for y'all men. I don't know any predatory black men. All these black women say they've been assaulted, but I don't know one black man that's a predator. Y'all will see it happen in front of your face, or either do it yourself and you see nothing wrong. And women will see this behavior, and because you think that it's okay because rape culture is perpetuated in our society and globally, that it's fucking okay. Or that anything that she has said, anything that she has done, anything that she has worn, y'all will bring that up as if it has anything to do with anything. Y'all sound stupid and idiotic. Y'all want men to do better? Stop condoning the shit. Stop trying to protect them and speak and tell the truth. We have an issue, a really big issue. This predatory ass shit is so fucking normal. We actually think women should just accept it. Should we have accepted slavery and just let that shit rock too? I'm not understanding, and I guess I never will because I have not rocks for brains. I will never understand how y'all don't know this is wrong. How y'all think that it's okay to allow a woman be sexually assaulted in a room full of people on camera, and that's okay with y'all because of the things that she says about sex. The things that she does with her body voluntarily. Her voluntarily giving niggas coochie or sucking on toes or eating niggas' asses, she's doing that voluntarily. And the fact that y'all can't separate someone doing something voluntarily versus being objectified and abused and harassed and assaulted is concerning for me. It's really concerning to me that y'all can't separate a woman choosing to have sex with her being assaulted. Y'all really believe a woman choosing to have sex voluntarily means it should be okay for her to be raped or sexually assaulted or sexually harassed. Y'all really think that. Y'all are predators or you are predator apologists. Y'all aren't good people. Y'all aren't moral people. Y'all are demonic. And I'm not even Christian. That's some demonic ass shit for you to really believe that a woman voluntarily having sex is equivalent or should be a justification for her being raped, assaulted, or harassed. That's wild. And then to make excuses for this grown-ass man, oh, he made a mistake. Don't try to take a black man down. Let me know something. How can you take somebody down with their own behavior? How can you take somebody down with their own behavior? Don't do this to him, please. He's a good kid. It's a grown-ass fucking man. He's 20 fucking 4. His frontal lobe is almost done fucking cooking. At what fucking age is he's gonna grow the fuck up and under fucking stand? You keep your fucking hands to yourself. I haven't been in the childcare industry in a while, but I know for a fact 3-year-olds can understand you keep your body to yourself. So why can't a grown-ass man understand you keep your body to yourself? Especially when a woman is showing you physically and telling you verbally, do not touch me. No. Don't do this to him, please. He's a good kid. Just slap him and he gotta let you what? Just slap him and he gotta let you something. The fuck are you trying to say? We don't need our young bulls torn down for mistakes in this hypersexual era. I support Suki. Hold that shit down on some street shit. Y'all condone predatory ass behavior. You are okay with women being raped, sexually assaulted, and sexually harassed. How is it going to tear someone down to hold them accountable for their very own behavior? No one told him to go up to her and kiss her. No one put a gun to his head and said, go kiss her. No one said, if you don't go over there and kiss her right now, I'm going to shoot your mother and your family. No one said that. In his own 24-year-old mind, he made the decision to force himself on a woman. Tear him down? If he was so worried about not being torn down, maybe he shouldn't have sexually assaulted a woman on camera in front of the world to see. We have a really big issue with not holding black men accountable for their fucking behavior, and it's really starting to piss me the fuck off. Because the cognitive dissonance is making all y'all real slow, real dumb, real remedial. Y'all will jump through mental hoops just to condone this predatory fuck shit, and I'm just about over it. We need to have more conversations of fucking consent, because apparently even at our big ass ages of 25 and up, we don't know what the fuck consent means. So allow me to illustrate some pictures for y'all. I don't care if the woman was participating in an orgy and everybody in the room busted it wide open or did whatever they did with her body, and it came upon the last person and she says, not you. You don't have the authority. You do not have permission to touch her body. You do not have consent. If you touch her, you are sexually assaulting her. I don't care if you see a woman hanging from the fucking ceiling with crotchless drawers on and pasties, spinning around. You don't have the right to go up to her and touch her body. You do not have consent. I don't care if you're on a date with a woman and she's been flirting with you all night and she thinks you are cute. You do not have the right to put your mouth on her and kiss her without first gaining consent. I don't care if y'all have had sex 10 times and you go over there and you're kissing and you're having oral sex and you start sex and she tells you, I don't want you to penetrate me. You do not have consent. I don't care if your dick's still out, still hard, her coochie out and still dripping. You do not have consent to have vaginal sex with her. You do not have consent. If you put your dick in her, you are committing rape. I don't care if you are married and you have 5 children. If your wife says, no, I don't want to have sex, I don't want to perform oral sex, and you force her to perform oral sex, you have just raped your wife. Being married, being in a relationship, previous sexual encounters, sexual history, dress, behavior is not consent. Y'all just vibing with vibes and just shit just happening. That's not consent. If you don't have an affirmative yes, it is not consent. If you have a verbal no, that is not consent. The fact that I have to fucking say this in this very slow tone, as if y'all are teenagers that just hit puberty, at y'all big ass ages on this internet leaving these tasteless ass comments, is ridiculous. The fact that you are making excuses for men sexually assaulting a woman and sexually harassing a woman because you don't agree with her sexual behavior is fucking wild and crazy as hell. This fucking community is on fucking fire and is going straight to hell real fast. And this idea that you are taking down a black man, a good black man don't sexually assault women. Good black men do not rape women. Good black men do not sexually harass women. Good black men do not see black women or any woman being sexually harassed or assaulted and say and do nothing. We have to get out of this diluted backwards mindset that just because they feel oppression, they can't be oppressive. No. Y'all are really out here making excuses for things that we saw in 4K. And y'all wonder why rape victims, sexual assault victims don't come forward? We all saw with all of our eyes. We don't need Suki to say any fucking thing. We saw her be sexually assaulted and sexually harassed. And we're making excuses for these grown-ass men and their behavior? Lock these niggas up and put them up under the jail at this fucking point. That was all that I wanted to cover today. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go calm down, drink some more water, because the way that this shit is just ridiculous. Okay? Next week, we'll talk about something. Maybe we'll go over a chart. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But, hold on. I thank y'all for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to this channel, and share with a friend. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.